Okay, so I've created my tables, and here's table volunteers. I'm just going to switch to design view. So I've created my fields, I've set the correct data types for those fields, and now I'm ready to put some data into that table. So I'm going to switch to datasheet view, and there's my field names across the top, and I'm ready to type in my data. Now, I've already got my data in a CSV file ready to import, so I don't need to type anything in, but we're going to import the data into this table. Now, it's worth checking your CSV file, because before you try and import, you need to make sure that you've got all the correct field names matching the fields in your CSV file, and making sure they're in the right order as well. And they should be spelt the same way. If you can make sure that's the case, that will help. Now, I can see in my CSV file the first line has got the names of the field names, so I can just check. I've got first name, last name, volunteer ID, address 1, and so on. So they're all there, they're in the right order, and they're hopefully spelt the same as well. So you really must check that you've got that right in your database before you try and import it, otherwise it will fail. Even if you've got all that right, you still might have a problem, and that can sometimes come down to the data types that you've used. For example, if my first name field is incorrectly a number data type, then when I try and import this data, it will try and import these names into a number field, and it'll just reject it and say, well, this is text, I can't import that into a number field. So just make sure, if there is still a problem, check your data types for each of your fields to make sure they're sensible for the data that's going to go inside them. Okay, I'm just going to close that CSV file. So, and I'm going to close the table as well, just before I try and import data into it. So to import the data, I'm going to go to External Data, and I'm going to choose this icon here, which is Import Text File. And I'm going to choose Append a copy of the records to the table volunteers. My table's already created, I'm just going to try and populate it. So make sure you choose the second tab down, Append a copy, and then click on Browse, and I'm going to navigate to find the CSV file that I want. On the portal or on your scenario, it tells you where to find the CSV files for your driving school. Click on Open, and OK. Right, the data is delimited. It's got commas that delimit each of the fields, so it's delimited. Click on Next. I'll make sure that the comma is ticked, and you can see it separated into the fields. Now that first row isn't data, it's the field names for the data, so I'll make sure I tick this box that says first row contains field names. It goes grey at the top, that's fine. Click on Next, imports table of volunteers, that's right. Click on Finish, and if everything's gone okay, let's click on Close here. I should, there we go, have all my volunteer details in my table, so I've imported it from the CSV file.